Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DCUO Sourcecast. I am, of course, Trex, and alongside me via the interwebs, we have Super Patriot.
What's up, everybody?
We have Vagrant, aka Trick.
What's up, guys?
And we have Brittany.
Hello.
So, hope everyone is having a good week. And for you members out there, episode 16, woot! Yay! And of course, we'll be talking a little bit about that. And we're also going to be talking about some stuff on the test server, because the test server came back with some goodies. Something a little bit for Brittany, something a little bit for new players, and you know, something for Brittany. Basically, is the whole point of the test server update that happened today is all for Brittany. Basically. So, how's everybody's week been, Super Patriot?
Alright.
Alright, you're not Brittany. You don't get away with that kind of answer.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to... She's the one who have to elaborate then this week, because it's been alright. I mean, hasn't been that, you know, spectacular of a week or anything, so, yeah. Nothing really exciting happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vagrant?
It's been alright. Ran the solo, ran the alert. They're both fun. We'll talk more about it.
And Brittany? So
She's
No, I'm busy. My week was good. Kind of busy with work, but other than that, it was pretty good.
Busy with work.
What is this word she uses?
This is check this out. Wednesday when the episode drops, okay, she sends me a tell. She's like, "You want to run the alert with us and then run elite?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I get into a group with and everything. So we run the regular alert, okay, which, you know, her and her league mates get all these 123 drops. She's getting like weapons out the ass, all right. And then
two weapons, and they weren't good weapons, but okay.
Yeah. then we run the elite, okay. We go in there, we're running the elite. All right, and then she's like, "Oh, guys, I have to go." And I'm like, "What do you gotta go for?" She's like, "Oh, I've got this work thing. I gotta make a call." I was like, "Oh, you gotta go in?" She's like, "No, I just have to call." I was like, "Call for what?" And she's like, "It's with my boss." I was like, "What? To justify you having a job?" She's like, "Yeah."
Some certain jobs require people to go on a conference call, so I use the telephone to talk to other people. I know it's a weird idea.
A telephone? But... What is a telephone? Did you use your cellular device?
What does she even do?
Exactly my point.
I'm able to work from home. All I hear are haters.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question. What do you do?
I'm not a hater. I'm just completely jealous.
You're a what?
I work for AT&T. I'm a project manager for them.
Yes.
And my boss and my coworker.
Oh, a project manager. Okay.
In Atlanta, so there's really no. I don't have any need to go into the office. Like, what's the point of going into the office when the people that are in my office I don't work with anymore? So there's no point. So I can telecommute. I've always had that option.
To make sure nobody's rearranging your troll dolls on your desk. That's why you have to go into the office.
I don't have troll dolls. I don't have my desk decorated, but
I'm surprised she even has a desk, to be honest.
Well, I do. A lot of us do, but a lot of us got reorged. So I mean, like, the area that I sit in is not my area anymore. Like, they're my coworkers any longer. So I don't have to go in if I don't want to.
Yeah. I did update my stream title. I'll even hit the update button again if you just want to, like, you know, refresh there, Mepps. Just hit that little refresh button. The title should be changed. So your Patriot got me. And don't worry, Brittany, I'm not a hater. I am just completely jealous. That's basically what it is. I'm completely
I'm not
jealous.
hating at all. In fact, I fired Brittany once. Brittany and all of AT&T, but I mean, that was,
You fired?
Huh?
Wait, what?
I fired AT&T a long time ago because you tried to screw me over on my bill.
I don't work in customer service, so I don't care. There are so many other facets of AT&T besides customer service. So why
Nope,
people think
Isn't-
I fired all AT&T.
Isn't Project Team just responsible for making what the store looks like?
No, I'm a project manager for our onboarding team. That it has nothing to do. I don't deal with anything customer service related. Like nothing. All the things that I do are behind the scenes for our internal. I guess you say internal customers, which are just the other people that work for AT&T. So nothing that I do extends beyond our internal groups. So, yeah.
Look, let's all recognize that she is living the dream, working from home.
Oh, yeah, she's living the dream. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, at the same time, that's one dream. Another dream is to work in game development. So that's a dream too.
I don't know, man. I get enough hate on this game as it is. I don't know if I'd want to be a dev on it too. They get all the hate that they get too. On top of that shit.
Well, if as a dev, never mind. the easy answer would be I fix everything.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's only certain things they can do. So
Yeah. So, my week has been pretty good. Staying busy. Well, apparently Vagrant's going robot on me.
oh,
So week has been pretty good. Worked out hopefully a more steady streaming schedule and editing schedule for myself. It worked out pretty well Tuesday and last night. I updated my website, which it's a small update, which I'll actually show later. Excuse me. But I mean, it was a small update, but also some back end fixing, trying to fix some broken pages and broken links. So hopefully that should be fixed. I also played PlanetSide 2, by the way, on PlayStation 4, no less. I used the on system streaming. That was fun. Difficult to read chat sometimes, but that was fun.
PS4 streaming system is pretty good. It's better than Xbox One's.
I've been meaning to look at Xbox, how Xbox setup is.
It's not as good. Even if you have a Kinect, I'm pretty sure you have to like set it up to where it'll use the camera, while the PlayStations will just do it automatically.
Yeah.
If you have a PlayStation camera, which I bought a week ago, because it's pretty cheap nowadays.
Yeah, I got one as well, and it was, I like it. I was actually really impressed with the camera quality too, because I was projecting my voice like I always do. I'm on the microphone, but I don't think I was projecting it as much when I was using the camera, and it still picked it up pretty well. I was really impressed. And I also released the Bombshell Paradox raid I did last weekend as a Rage Melee DPS. That was exhilarating, to say the least. And I did it like in 1/3 of the time. Took us like an hour and some change, and 26 deaths.
An hour and some change.
Only 26 deaths.
Yeah, only.
I think our league, our fastest time's like 15 to 18 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, but do you guys doing the old 2-2 setup?
No.
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things I get. I posted a video yesterday, and I think only one person, or maybe a few, came in to really throw some shade on that thread, if I can use that terminology. And
No, don't use that terminology.
Well, I'm gonna, so shush. So, but they came in, and basically, like, this one gigantic post was basically just, I think I chose bits and pieces to talk about because I just didn't care enough to try and figure out all that stuff. But it was basically saying melee is not an option. It really shouldn't be. It puts more stress on the tank, which it does. And basically that, and he was actually asking me, it's like, Did you give him the blue buff? Did you try and counter? Did you allow the tank to give the boss the blue? Did you? I'm like, is this my first time running this game? Like, what is this?
Okay, first off, I would say 90% of the tanks out there do not properly counter any bosses or ads, so I don't really think that's a valid argument.
Yeah,
this is true. This is very true.
Most people that I've seen tank, pull block, pull block, pull block, pop power block, pop power block. Regardless, they don't know how to read feints, they don't know how to block break, they don't know how to let go of the R1 button or the shift button.
Yeah, the majority of those guys are ice tanks.
Yeah,
I have a guy in my league. He's one of the best one of the better tanks that I know in the game. He's been playing since launch and all that. He's always been a really good ice tank. He's always been a really good ice tank, but he is stuck on the turtle tanking days still, where the bosses weren't doing interrupts and everything like that. So he does the whole pull and block thing, and I've been trying to teach him, trying to get him up to getting counters and all that, because you get a counter on on the boss and everything, you're greatly mitigating how much damage you take more by getting a counter on the boss than you are by holding block and buffing. So but yeah, she's right. A lot of tanks don't farm after the counters. I freaking weapon mastery when I'm tanking.
That's what I do as well.
I mean, yeah, you're rage though, as I do it with fires. I'm getting counters because I need those damn counters. I need my blues.
I was trying to answer as best as possible, but Bombshell Paradox as a melee DPS, yes, I died 26 times, and yes, I felt horrible as a player. I felt horrible that I just kept dying. Nice people were nice enough to pick me up. I was really worried that the people in my raid were going to leave. Basically, the people who I did not know.
Oh, they wouldn't leave. They'd maybe kick you.
And that's another... Oh, what the hell? I would be so pissed if I got kicked out of my own raid on stream. I would be livid. That does not mean people... That does not mean people get to do that to me tomorrow night, okay? Do not get that in your head. But... And that was another issue, is that people let it be... the person let it go with... It was because of I'm DC famous that they did not leave. And I'm like, if that's the case, then I will ride this freaking train all the way through. If that means that people are just going to be in a setup with me and everything. Like, and I tell people before we even go in, it's like, hey, I'm streaming, I'm doing this. If you guys want to leave, this is your time now. It's okay. I have no hard feelings. But understand, this might be a 3-hour run. There are going to be a lot of deaths, but we're going to have fun. We're going to charge through, and we're going to have more fun. I just bring a lot of good energy. And the fact that people do stay, whatever reason it is, I don't care. If they're wanting to be here, it's like, oh my god, Mom, I'm on a stream. I'm on a stream, Mom. I don't care. As long as you're in the run, you're doing your part, and you're having fun in the game, I don't care. And again, this was an hour-long raid, and we were wiping on Talia. We wiped 5 times, and we finally got on the 6th try. And a lot of those attempts were the fact that we just got bad luck with the vortexes. And people didn't see them because of whatever reason. They weren't being closed properly. It's blah. It's just the luck of the draw. But when Talia went down... Like, you just heard everybody in voice chat just, yeah, this is great, we did it! And once again, a huge-ass smile on my face. Just a huge smile. And that's what I do the runs for. I do it because I want this smile. I don't want a 15-minute raid, and I'm just gonna go, oh, I got the gear I wanted. Alright, I'm out. No, I don't. That's for, like, an other day thing. I don't care. But if I have a time to set aside, I'm gonna run how I want to run. And that's the other issue, is that we've always said that we don't really like the community standard of the 5 or whatever. So, and people who complain about that, it's like, well, you can make your own raid. Okay, I'll make my own raid. I finally made my own raid. I posted it, and now I'm getting shit on because my raid sucks. It's like, oh my god, there is no pleasing you people. None. None.
You know, this is the thing that I don't understand. With so many people complaining that they want a...
As you're saying about the group makeup, Brittany.
Oh, with so many people in the forums complaining that they want the traditional 2 whatever setup, why don't they form their groups together? Like, I don't understand why they don't all group up together. Most of them complaining are all on the same server.
Yeah.
So why don't they play together and form their own groups and run raids how they want to?
Well, see, a lot of what you get, what I've been witnessing with pugs is like, you know, I'll get into some pug groups, and somebody will come in and they'll be like, you need another healer. Well, it's like that Throne Elite run that I told you about, that everybody was going to go after the Death Proof. There's me and one other guy was going to tank it. You know, I'm on my 130 Rage tune. I'm not sure what the other guy's tank's power was, but he was a 131, you know, and we were going to go in there and try the Death Proof. Some guy came in and said, who's the third tank? And I was like, do you really think we need a third tank? Because like everybody was, the lowest CR in there was 128, and he was a DPS. And the guy was like, well, you need 3 tanks for this. I was like, yeah, do we really need 3 tanks for this at this level? And he's like, have you ever tried this before? And you know, he refused to do it with 3 tanks, and he left. So I mean, you get people like that will, you know, go into a pug group and they'll be like, oh, well, you need 2 healers for Bombshell.
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about with enough people that have the same attitude. How come they don't start forming friendships and I don't know. Because
I am such a better player than that guy is. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's the only thing I can agree with him on is the 2-2-2-2 setup, and you know, but everything else is a complete idiot. I mean, come on. You're talking about people on the forums, man.
I look at it where, and I think I've mentioned this before, is that when back in FOS and FOS 2, we had that 2-2-2-2-2 setup back then at the beginning. Then it started getting deeper into, hey, let's try it with 1 tank and see how badass we are. Okay, well, let's see how badass.
That's the difference, though. Somebody else brought up a good point. I don't ever remember running with 2 tanks. We always ran with 1 tank. It was always 1 tank and then 2 healers and 2 trollers. It was never the 2-2-2-2 setup that people keep talking about. I never ran that when I first started playing, ever. It was always 1 tank.
Yeah, when I first started playing,
even for all the FOS raids, it was always 1 tank. Always.
Yeah, it's always 1 tank, 3 DPS, 2 trolls, and 2 healers.
Oh, I remember doing like the Batcave stuff with 2 tanks.
Oh yeah.
Just to help with damage mitigation. If one was getting 2 down, the other one would grab the aggro and help out a bit. But then, of course, yeah, I mean, you're right. It did change into 1 tank, then to the 1 healer, the 1 controller, and now here we are, where the community standard is 5 DPS and 1 of everything else.
Well, it's because they need more boss fights. Like, they don't have enough boss fights where it requires 2 tanks. The Ares fight requires 2 tanks because you need to pull the essence away from Ares, and you need to have everybody away from Ares. That gives a second tank an actual job to do that's intuitive the whole fight. It's not just, well, if the fire tank's almost about to die, let me grab aggro for him. No, it gives him a reason to stay in tank role.
I mean, Lashing Claw was an example in our raid that I'm glad we had 2 tanks. Because one tank
you need 2 tanks for that battle, too.
Yeah, I mean, can it be done with 1? Yeah, because it's been done before. But yeah, but for for Lashing Claw and Bombshell, 2 tanks was perfect. And so the way I see it now, it's like if people want difficulty, go into 2-2-2 setup into a raid. Just do it. And the problem is that people won't do it because they won't put the time forth. They don't want to be in there for an hour. In which, that's understandable. It's your time. It's your valuable time. I get that. But don't question someone else's run because I take mine for a 3-hour stroll into a raid and we wipe everywhere. Is wiping everywhere supposed it gives you a satisfaction or a thought? It's like that's not worth my effort. No, it is. Because honestly, I still believe if you aren't dying, if you're not dying, you're not learning anything. And as a DPS, every time I died, I learned something. I learned something more as that melee DPS that run than I did as my tank when I wasn't dying, when I was keeping the boss on me. Because as a tank, I did know what to look for. But as a DPS, I knew exactly where not to stand and how hard it was for the tank to really reposition yourself and how hard it is for a melee DPS. It's just like, all right, got to back up a little bit. And, all right, where am I going to go? You done? You good? All right, let me get back in. But I'm also taken away from my previous MMO experience of being a melee DPS, Druid Kitty for the win, and knowing that I'm on top of the boss, I'm behind the boss, I'm doing stuff. Oh, mechanics coming in, step out, wait, okay, come back in. So I'm used to stepping out, stepping in. This game, there's no stepping out. No one has ever really stepped out because the mechanics are not really in the game. And as we get closer to more melee-friendly bosses, I'm hoping to see more melee-heavy mechanics, where you could be a melee DPS. Yeah, sure, come, hug me, stand, be behind me, that's cool. Oh wait, here's a mechanic coming, you might want to back out. You're not? Cool, you're dead. And it's your fault because you did not back out. Every death I had was definitely my fault. Some of them weren't, some of them were. Lashing Claw, definitely all my fault. Definitely. Because I didn't let the tank get repositioned, and I was standing in a wrong spot where I could get hit with all those nasty whips. Do I think melee DPS can work? Yeah. Do I recommend it for pugs? No, because pugs aren't me. Pugs aren't Brittany. Pugs aren't Super Patriot. They don't have patience. Pugs just don't have patience. They want to get it done and get it done fast. That's why I run it my way. That's why I pick the people who are willing to join me for a hellacious and a travesty of a run sometimes. But we still have fun, and we get it done. And we have a better sense of accomplishment. Hoo-wah.
Well, I mean, like Vagrant was saying, though, I mean, you know, we haven't really seen... The only other raid where they, you know, made it to where, you know, some mechanics would require you to have a 2-2-2-2 setup would have been FOS 2. You know, with the split there, but people found a workaround for that.
The rally.
Now,
yeah.
if it was required for both sides to hit the switch at the same time, you know, that would have been a completely different raid for everybody.
Yeah.
That would make that 2-2-2-2 setup actually, you know, needed for in that raid. But you know, until they actually add mechanics into these raids where it requires you to have a balanced group for the entirety of the raid, you know, we're not going to see the 2-2-2-2 setup being standard ever.
Yep.
Didn't Labyrinth had that spot where you had to be in those column or the pillar of light if you're a certain
and
role?
that's still only a chance on whether or not you need a tank. You need 2 tanks to stand on those
but
nodes.
you don't,
or
though.
not.
You don't.
Not
You
to
can run
mention-
back don't. You just need. You can run back and one person can run back and forth and trigger them.
Yeah.
Plus, most people, if they even need it just to make it faster, they're just switching roles for that specific fight. That's it.
Right.
Or like
They're not gonna
situation.
stay.
Not really a fight.
But that's the problem, though. You can keep saying it's a community issue, but it's a content issue. If you don't, I mean, anybody can run their group however they want to. I really don't care. I'm not gonna. It doesn't affect me, so I don't care. If that's how you want to run the group, that's how you want to run the group. However, if people are trying to drive a quote-unquote balanced setup, the content needs to revolve around that. Because if it doesn't, then why should I run it that way? I'm not going to run it that way. I don't want to. But if it requires it, of course I will. I mean, I had fun running Throne, and we ran... For like the last boss fight, I think we ran 2 tanks, sometimes 3 tanks on Elite, 2 healers and a troller. So it depends on the content, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's other MMOs that require it because just about every boss fight has mechanics like that.
Sorry about that. I guess Twitch does not like me tonight, apparently. Thanks, Twitch. Love you too, buddy. But, okay, let's go into emails. So let's go ahead and just get this out of the way because apparently Twitch wants me to hurry up. I don't know why, but Twitch is Twitch. So, let me... Where are you? Button. There it is. Alright, so here we are with our question coming from Gin Whiskey once again. Thank you, Gin. So, greetings and salutations. After listening to the Sourcecast last week, I was pondering on your discussion over replay badges. My first question, what is Vagrant's opinion of replay badges? What gets me is that if they are purchasable items, much like a booster bundle or base items, why the big uproar over the pay-to-play? Example, Brittany was tweeting today about getting all of her feats for latest content. Quote unquote, no surprise, but only getting one piece of 123 gear. What's the point if it's a gamble every time, like Diablo's magic find stat? Have a great show, Jam Whiskey. So let's go for first. What is Vagrant's opinion on replay badges?
I've never liked them, and it's simply because they really. It's hard to describe it in like one really quick session. The basic idea is it caused us to replay content so much to where we get burnt out within the first week. And it's funny that they're now trying to rectify that issue. They tried to slow down people with what were they, tokens, or I can't remember what they used to be called with Halls of Power Part 1. What were they, badges?
Symbols. The symbols.
Symbols. They tried to slow down content progression with symbols, so it just makes me scratch my head. Why did they introduce replay badges in the first place if you're trying to slow us down now? You didn't care before. It all it is it's basically making content less exciting because we experience it so much to the point where we get burnt out so quickly, especially if you have the replay badges. It's a nice idea. It's always needed a cooldown, in my opinion, though. Replaying it over and over and over and over again to where you can max out in a day, that should not be what replay badges are for. They should be something that allows you to maybe get an extra mark or two a day, every day or so, but not to where you can get your full set of gear if you played all day. It's not the way it should work. So I've never liked replay badges. I mean, it's great for, you know, paying for the game and such like that, and it's a nice little thing in the marketplace, but it needs to have some sort of control.
Mepps here in chat. Our intent isn't to slow anyone down or speed anyone up. The point of replays is so you can play at the pace you desire. And then the point of symbols was to require you to play the appropriate content to gear up. Which, yeah, that was definitely the point of the symbols. Also, the advantage of monthly.
So day one, you wouldn't get gear.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, that too.
Well, they require you that you would need that like episode or DLC instead of skipping. I think that wasn't that the issue, that you could skip like DLCs or something.
It was to keep content relevant. Like if you still needed to get gear from halls, from Halls of Power 1. If you still need to get gear from Halls of Light, Halls of Power Part 1, you couldn't run, just spam older content or newer content to get the marks in order to buy that gear to complete out, your style feat or whatever like that you were trying to do. You actually had to run Halls of Power in order to get those symbols, because the gear also didn't just cost the marks, but it also cost the symbols.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the advantage of monthly over the quarterly is that there is something new to play more often.
Which is nice.
So with replays, and this is, and like we were saying last week, this was an issue that it was a misnomer that was being spread onto the forums, that the more you spend replays, the better chance you're going to get for gear, and that's not the case. Replays only allow you to replay the content, as Mepps said, at a pace of your desire. If you spend replay badges 5 times on the Elite Alert, and that's because you wanted to run it because you wanted to get the gear from it instead of waiting for the reset. It was at a pace of your choosing. You could either choose to spin the replays or you don't. Either way. And if you would have ran 5 times, if you would have gotten an elite piece of gear each time, your damn dumb luck is all right there. But it's still, the gear in the drops is still on a luck base. It doesn't matter how many replays you spend. The system doesn't care how many replays you spend. The system only cares about your luck. And if you're out of luck, well, then you're gonna get probably a weapon that is awesome, but not awesome. Ain't that right, Brittany?
Or I'm just not gonna get anything.
Or anything.
You know.
Just get 112.
Tell everybody how it's my fault, Britt.
Because I ran with you and you cursed me because you don't get anything. So now my bad luck has now turned into terrible luck. Thanks a lot.
My question would be, though, if replay badges were never introduced and you had to wait for the weekly resets on raids and daily resets on alerts, would we have burnt out on content as fast, and would people be more excited for raids and content on the resets more often, rather than playing it all at the same time?
I feel like without the replays in that scenario, we wouldn't have monthly. We would still have the quarterly episodes, because in the time frame that in those 3 months is technically what you're supposed to run and get your gear, even if it's vendor, you would run for 3 months, and then you would have to get the new stuff.
Without replay badges, they could have kept vendor gear, because you wouldn't be able to earn as many marks so dang fast.
Of course,
but that's assuming that everybody replays. Like, you don't have to use replays, though. There's nothing requiring you to use them. So if you use them and you're bored, that's your own fault. I don't really see how the game should police people in that sense. I mean, if you want to rush to the end at the very first day, see you in a month, I guess. If you don't want to play anymore, I don't know.
They have to do it because it's a competition. It's a competition.
Yeah.
It's also an MMO, so that's just how people are going to be. They're going to want to have the best gear as soon as possible, because that's the name of the game. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the best gear. I understand that, but that's their own problem, or that's their issue. I don't really think that's a... I don't know. I don't even know if I would still be playing if we didn't have replay badges, because I wouldn't now run the content again without being loot locked and then having everything... What's the point of logging in then? If I have nothing to run, there's nothing to do. Like, I'll be back. Because your alerts reset every day, duos reset every day, solos reset every day. There used to be raid nights. Now leagues just have, let's just do a raid run where we run all the raids, or the raid that just came out multiple times, and then there's no raid nights anymore except for people who have replay badges.
I guess depends on how people run their leagues. I don't know. Like, we don't have raid nights. We just, if there's enough people on, we run it. People run loot locks still. Like,
yeah, I mean,
there's some people that don't read it every day.
You know, like you said, a lot of people, you know, the way I see a lot of people do it is, you know, they, you know, like you said, they'll spam it all in one day, you know, to get everything, and then they make, you know, work on alts, you know, most likely they're not. I think, honestly, the big push with a lot of players to get all the content done, get all the gear they can and everything is to race to that max CR number, because they need that max CR number to offset, you know, their less than stellar skill set with the game, to be honest with you. Because, like, I mean, you know, we've all seen it. I mean, the game's flooded with ice DPS right now, because ice is, you know, arguably the most powerful DPS power in the game, right? But how many good ice DPSs do you guys all really know?
Zouse.
Everyone in my league.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, outside your league, though, I mean, I mean, how many good ice DPSs do you really know? I ran a pug group with some of my league mates on Bombshell a couple of nights ago, and there was 3 ice DPS in there, and one of them was just doing. I swear to God, you'd have thought he only had half his gear on, but he was 129, and his damage was just pitiful. I think a lot of it has to do with, guys are trying to get that, people are trying to get that combat rating, get that high combat rating to justify them saying, yeah, I belong here, my CR is higher than his. Why, I should be staying and shit like that. But then when you get into the raid, actual raid and all that, they don't do dick for damage. And, I honestly feel that's what the big push is. To spam the content.
I think it's kind of that, but I also think it's with the change in CR. The higher your CR, the more damage you're going to do. I think that could also be a driving factor into trying to get.
Yeah, but but you and I have both seen though in pug groups, so where you'll have 2 guys, same power. One's a lower CR, and he's doing more damage than the guy with the higher CR. That's got nothing to do with combat rating. That's got something to do. That's got a lot to do with skill set, with the skill set that player has, and the experience that player has doing, playing it. Do mods and skill points come into effect in that? In some ways, yeah, of course, it has an effect on that. But it's people who are going after that CR because they feel that they need to have that huge CR in order to do the damage. When it's not necessarily always the case. Yeah, it helps obviously because of the differentials and all that, but it's not always the case. So that's why people chase after that that big CR in order to get the spam the replays out on content. And that's where people get this justification for trying to claim that the game is pay to win, when it's not. Because what are you winning?
Yeah, that pay to win argument is so
have you guys entered a monthly contest to see who puts out the most damage in a month, and you get free stuff if you do the most damage for your power or something like that? I mean, seriously, how is this pay to win? I don't understand that argument. How it's pay to win.
Yeah. So, like I said, I messed up I messed with my website. Thank you to my webmaster as well. And so I now have a section for Leia's podcasts. Yay! Only the videos, but you can also click the links on the actual pages and go to where they need to go. So I added this, so Leia's podcast will be on the front page right there. Yay! Go me. Go me. Alright, so moving on from replays and all that, because it's still a choice. You can still use them or not. I never do. That's why I have over 2,000, because I just don't use them. So, server hotfix that came out yesterday. Fixed an issue for the Hall of Doom, for the LPVE, Hall of Doom Armory. Fixed an issue where hero players were not getting loot off of the servitor. So that's been fixed for you guys. And there was also a bug mentioned on the forums that Crystal on the villain side does not attack Nightwing. Does not attack Nightwing.
Maybe she has a crush on him.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like even Crystal knows not to hit him. I think the devs did that on purpose too. But just in case Mepps wants to try and look into that. I think I told him to post it into the bug section or the issue tracker, but I don't know if they did or not. So for episode 16, just some issues fixed there. Desecrated Cathedral. Jared will attack random foes less often, so long as there is a player in tank role in the fight. Raven's Reflection ability has a longer tail, a new animation, and more reasonable damage potential. The music in the cathedral has been reworked to support the story and gameplay more effectively. For the mission Oa Under Siege, they re-enabled the Oa Under Siege solo mission because they had to take it off because there was a mark issue. Finishing the mission will now wait a minute. Finishing the mission will the correct marks of victory.
Yes.
Fix the bug where the reward box for the solo content was sometimes rewarding episode 15 items. The treasure box.
Episode 15?
The treasure box will now correctly award 112 and 119 items only. Added a new rally location in Metro Battle Zone. Oh my god, there's 2 L's. Players who rally will now appear near Monk. And then fix a typo for cleansing the power battery. Mepps, please, for the love of God, do not hurt me. I have no choice but to laugh. I'm so sorry. So, the alert, Desecrated Cathedral. These fixes are part of the normal and the elite. So these changes do affect both versions. And so yeah, Jared. Nice to have a tank. I like that. Yay. Now, Raven's Reflection. I haven't ran it since the server update. Brittany.
Much nicer.
Yeah, so it still has the exclamation point, right?
Yeah,
it's just a...
Look at the skull over the head and everything. You just get more time to react to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really a new animation?
No, I didn't really see a new animation. It's just, it's more in line with all the other reflect moves that all the other bosses have. Which I don't like the fact that they reduce the damage because that didn't need to be done. That totally now trivializes, at least in normal. You can just keep DPSing her through reflect. So I don't really like that the damage was reduced. It was just the tell needed to be slightly longer because anybody that had a cast time move or anything similar to that, you literally had to stop the second her skull came up, and if you did not, you
there
through her skull. Like it.
There was one time when I was running with you when I got knocked back in the middle of fire burst, and whenever I get knocked back or get knocked down or anything like that, I'll pop breakout and I'll hit flame cascade to keep my volatility going, especially if I get knocked far back, so I can get closer to do fire burst again. And as soon as I hit the breakout and hit flame cascade, her skull popped up with that reflect automatically right then and there, and it just killed me.
Yeah, and so that's what I don't understand. Like, that did not make the elite raid elite. Having a one-shot in there where you basically needed to stop... There was no point for the tell then. You might as well just remove the tell and just, like, kept track as we did on test.
Yeah.
There was no point for the tell, because the second the tell came up, if you were hitting her as the tell was up, you were dead. So I don't see how that makes that alert elite, and that was the only reason why it made it elite. I'm like, what? That was one of the arguments that somebody made.
Yeah, I saw that thread.
Reaching. Like, you're reaching because her reflect is not, it's just not in line with anything else. Like, if she had a similar tell to how Lashina had, but they also changed Lashina's tell to make it more in line with every other reflect. Like, every other boss mechanic has a reflect move. Like,
yeah, and like the first boss in HH as well.
Exactly.
You'll see the skull up over his head. So, reflect, stop attacking him. And everybody who was paying attention to that tell knows, okay, I gotta stop attacking him. And then wait for his reflect to drop, and then go back and start attacking him again.
Right, but you had at least a second or two to stop. Like, I could cancel out of Arctic Gust and be fine. If you didn't cancel at the exact second on Raven, you were dead. We just stopped after we ran with you. We just ended up doing it so we timed it with a healer shield and then gave like an extra 10 seconds, and we all just literally stopped doing what we were doing. We just stood there, waited for her reflect to pop, and then kept going. So when we all came back after your conference call, I remember we were just standing. I remember I was just like, you're like, okay, she's gonna do it again. So I remember I just stood there and just paced back and forth, waited for the reflect. Okay, I can attack her again. I was like, yeah.
Come
I'm
on.
tired of all the hard mechanics, quote unquote, being just reflect. How many fights do we have now where it's reflect? How many?
A lot.
And it's...
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wish it was different. I wish that instead of her having a bunch of those like the Ravens out, there were actually other ads that, I don't know. Like, there were ads in there that you would kill. They only pop for us once, so I don't know if they continuously respawn after a certain amount of time. But they actually did stuff that made the fight, I would say, a little more difficult or challenging. Like, there was one that you had to kill because it would heal Raven. And, like, I actually saw how much it healed Raven, and it was like she was almost back up to full if you didn't take it out. Like, different mechanics, I think, would make the fight more interesting other than having just a one-shot. Like, it just...
Or reflect.
Well, yeah, the reflect, which is basically a one-shot. I mean...
Here's a good little statement. It's fine if you recycle content, don't recycle mechanics.
I mean, mechanics will come back, but not.
I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened. You know, like
too often. It's happening too often.
I think would have been a better mechanic. And granted, now this would be repeating a mechanic, but the mechanic gets on the bounty and all that. You know, that when she puts up that that field and everything, the AOE field around her that like melts you if you're standing in it too long. But if you're like in melee range on her, it doesn't affect you. So like a mechanic like that would have been really good for that boss fight, I think, especially in that enclosed area.
Yeah,
I think it would have been really cool.
Well, Camel, the Camel. The issue with Raven wasn't the fact it was people weren't stopping DPSing during the reflect. The issue was with that boss is when the skull went up, the reflect went up, and there was no time to adjust. That's what the fix here was, and that's what a lot of people in the forums can't understand. It's like, when has there been a time when a boss has a skull and they didn't give you enough time to adjust? Like, the skull comes up, and immediately when that skull comes up, they do their awesome boss tactic. There's not.
Yeah, that's like Flame Cascade. You know, the damage being put out right when I hit the button to start the cast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what it is. Because there was one time when I was when I was hitting her with Flame Cascade, and right as soon as I hit the execute on the animation went out, her skull popped up and it killed me.
Who was breathing into their mic?
That's probably Brittany.
Brittany doesn't breathe.
No, it's like it's rubbing against somebody's...
Whoa, Brittany, whoa.
Ooh.
Okay, my mic is in my computer, so it's not me.
And if I'm the one, if I'm hearing it, I'm pretty sure it's not me.
That's true.
Yeah. But either way, people aren't going to pay attention to the skull. They're still going to die, so it's whatever. If they would have left it how it was, it would have been fine. It's just, it doesn't fall in line with how every other reflect move works in the game. And if they wanted to change it, then that's fine too.
It didn't fall in line. It does now, though. Since that hot fix, it does now. So.
But like I said, they need to up the damage again and make it a one shot, because you can burn right through. I haven't hit her on Elite yet to see like how much damage it does.
Elite it one shot you. Elite it one shot.
Oh, it still does. Okay. Well, on normal it used to one shot you, but it doesn't anymore. Like you don't even have to stop. So I'm really confused as to why they adjusted the damage to that, because they shouldn't have. It should have still been a one shot. So.
I know I know before the hotfix, the only time I really knew when the reflect was up was when like a DPS with a controller died, and I'm like, "What happened to you?" It's like reflect. I'm like, "Oh, ha! Excuse me while I'm still tanking with my severe punishment on. I see nothing of this damage you speak of." But of course, I only ran on normal. I haven't ran the elite yet. I'm looking to do that hopefully this weekend. But it was funny though, just seeing people dead. I'm like, "Why did you die?" Oh, the reflect. You apparently did not survive that because we have no healer in this run. I actually had a group leave me while I was killing ads. They just up and left me, and they got all the way up to James, leaving me with these 3 ads to kill. And I was like, so we're not coming back to help me? We're not going to come back and help Trex? Okay, well, I'm going to bring the ads to us, and let's see what happens.
Guys, have you not learned yet and all that? The whole point of, putting ads into the content and everything is to skip them.
I was gonna say that's why, like, this Cathedral, though, you can't skip the ads.
Yeah.
People
will find a way, Vagrant. People will find a way, even if it means leaving. Even if it means leaving that one ridiculously meleeing, rage DPS behind to fight those 3 ads. People will find a way.
No, they'll be like, if we rally here, it skips past these 2 ads right here, and then if we die right here, it's like, can we just play?
Yeah.
Can I just kill things? I think leaving ads up alive, it really hurts their feelings because they want to die. That's why they're here. And we're doing them a disservice by keeping them alive. That's just really mean. Just really mean. So, and now for the OA Under Siege. So, it's a little funny, but at the same time, it was like such an oddball bug that there were a lot of players that couldn't do the mission, and some of them probably still have the issue that they can't, and that's because when this mission was accidentally leaked months ago. They had that mission in their. They had the mission of OA Under Siege in their journal, and so now that the solo has finally come out, there was the issue where players couldn't really do the solo. They were like, it told them to skip stuff, and they couldn't properly get in to get everything done, and that was because that they still had. Oh, they could always do the solo. Okay, so they always do the solo, but there was just some issues. They couldn't get to the pointer mission. Yes. So, the fix behind that is select that mission, and it will take you where you need to go. Not how it needs help. Select that mission, and you'll get there. So, the solo, I still haven't gotten to run it. I'm hoping to do it when I let you guys just talk so I can play. But all the times I play on the test server, I still enjoyed it. How Jordan... I know we were, of course, just mentioning that we don't want reused mechanics. I want those Black Fountains used again.
It's not that I don't want reused mechanics, but if it's been literally one raid, don't have the same mechanic again.
Okay.
Like, do you understand what I mean?
Well, it sounded like you were just like in mid-sentence.
Oh. I said, if it's been like one content update ago and you had a boss fight with Reflect, don't have it in next month's update.
Okay. I got you. But, I want more Black Fountains. I know for me, it changed how I had to approach Hal. Instead of just going in, oh, I'm just going to melt your face right here. Oh, let me move over to the side. No, there's no move over to the side. I'm just completely caged, stun locked, whatever. I got nowhere to go. Oh, died from Black Fountain. Thank you. That was great. So great. So, can't wait to try and get those. So the Reflect was in Amazon Fury Part 2, House of Power Part 2, and then again in Raven. I don't care, because I guess I haven't played those I haven't faced those bosses who had the Reflect mechanic, so seeing Raven with Reflect did not really bother me, I guess. That's basically where I see it. I haven't seen this mechanic a lot, so, and if I have, I forgot, and so
There's a lot of bosses that have it, trust me.
So, I guess I just don't see it or remember it. So, Raven Reflect it's okay with me.
My favorite mechanic that came out recently was the stop and block.
Yeah, I remember that. That was good.
I miss LNW.
It was it was probably the first raid in a while where you absolutely had to have, like, for PC wise, like TeamSpeak or something. Were you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could just move Carol away from the lanterns and she didn't do that one-shot attack. Interesting.
Shut up, Brittany. Stop bringing common sense into the conversation.
How dare you, madam? How dare you?
But the funny thing is, not a lot of people knew that. Like, they still tanked her next to the lantern. I'm like, you realize if you move her, she doesn't do it.
We'll see. I've never ran the raid with 2 tanks. It's always been just one tank. You're not going to be able to pull her away.
I think the biggest reason for that, I think the biggest reason why people never figured that out is because you couldn't destroy those little pink lanterns.
Yeah, because you had to move her.
Yeah. So that's why people never figured it out, because people will be like, tank her right there, because that way you can get all the ads and we don't ever have to get too close to you. And it gives us more. Yeah, I mean, you know how people think on this game. Come on.
Exactly.
Because I remember first running it, I'm like, there's got to be something with these lanterns. Like, obviously, there's a reason why they're down. There's something with them. And then I think it was Hygon told us, and we kind of figured it out too, that you move her. She doesn't.
Hygon had to tell you about that?
Hygon knows everything. He's PC Master Race. Duh. And he didn't have to tell us. It was just something we were talking about.
What's Hygon going to do when we get the crossplay thing and he's got nobody that likes him that wants to play with him?
He doesn't play, but somehow he still works and watches everything. So he's one of those people that we were talking about.
All right, so with episode 16 out for members right now, and it will be on sale on September 9th next week on the Wednesday. There's something else going on September 9th. I cannot remember it. I was really excited because it was like the same day episode 16 comes out, but like a TV show I think comes out. It's on a Wednesday. I can't remember. I know I saw that.
Arrow? New Flash? New Gotham?
No.
We do not use that name here. No.
Dude,
I don't like Gotham either, but some people will.
Stop. Gotham is a good show.
It's a good show. It's not a good DC show.
It's not even a good show. It's horrible. Oh, I'm tired of that damn kid. Sorry, it just frustrates me, that show. It had a premise, and they shot that premise out the window. And it's like, we're gonna do this instead. Just kills me. But I did see the new Arrow trailer though today. That was pretty cool. Seeing John Constantine there as well.
Constantine.
Can't wait to see him in episode 5 too.
Isn't Diggle supposed? Is he supposed to become the Guardian?
He's
soon, maybe?
Yep. He's wearing the helmet.
Sweet.
He wears the helmet. I'm like, I'm so excited. So, all right.
Going to use the shield?
I don't think I didn't see a shield, but he's wearing a helmet. So
he's got to have a shield. He's got to have that shield.
Yeah, have a shield if he's going to be Guardian. Yeah. That way Marvel can sue them.
Isn't Guardian older than Captain America in terms of like when he was introduced?
I don't know. When was Guardian introduced?
I think Guardian's old.
Are we talking about like who came first?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Guardian's older.
Oh, I thought Cap was older.
Most of the time when it comes to Marvel copied DC. They just did it better. It made it more popular.
They're the same company, so in the same building. It's just Stan Lee is like, I'm gonna do this. And he's like, okay, and then just split.
They're like, all right.
Nope, Captain America came first. According to Wikipedia here, Guardian first appeared in Star Spangled Comics #7 in April of 1942. And it says here, Guardian resembles an earlier Kirby and Simon character, Captain America, which first published in March 1941 by Marvel Comics. Technically, it wasn't Marvel Comics. It was what were they called back then? Yeah.
The few times when Marvel did first.
But Guardian was created by the same had the same creative team behind him.
It makes sense. They both use shields.
All right, so let's look at the content. First up, how we feel about the alert. Normal or elite, don't care.
That's fun. You know, I honestly, that cathedral is one of my favorite alert settings.
It is pretty.
Not because I get to laugh at people to get lost in the spires, but you know, it is a beautiful, beautiful map. One of my favorites.
It is. It's really awesome.
And I like looking around it, you know, that when things are slowed down or anything, something like that, and saying, I want that in my lair, I want that in my lair, that in my lair. I was like, I was running through it when I was running through it with Brittany the other day, Wednesday. She all of a sudden, she's like out of nowhere, she's like, oh, I want those candles. I was like, what?
Wow. Brittany, what do you think of the alert?
Well, at the moment, I don't really like it because of my purple to green ratio.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
No, she's got a point. She's got a point.
I have a very valid point because when I ran it, 3 times, I saw 3 purples, I got 2 weapon choices, and then I got the head. And since then, I've run it on not only PC, 3 of my tunes on PS, and I have 2 pieces, and that's it. And I've run it a lot. Maybe not as much as other people have run it, but I have run it a good amount of times that I should have at least... Like, I don't even have any elite gear.
Have you run other content too, though?
No, that's all I run is...
That's probably why.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You're not getting to that reset yet. With your...
But I am. I'm at that point. From what I have understood about how that... the drop thing works, I'm like, my characters should be at that point because I've run it 4 times on my 2 alts, and I've gotten no purple drops from that.
It's okay, Britt. So. It's okay, because we'll run it tonight. Just hop on your PC tune. I'll tank it. We'll have ourselves a good time. And you're gonna get your drop because you have me there. You'll have me there as your good luck charm.
The worst luck that I got from Super Patriot.
I'll absorb it. I will take your bad luck you got from him because I am a nice guy and I'm a friend.
See, but remember, Brittany, there's always like with all magic, all right. There's a price. You may get the better luck with the loot drops and all that, but then you may start crashing a lot.
For the lulz.
It's annoying not getting like anything. I mean, I would probably even be happy and not as bitter if I got at least some more base items, because those base items are really cool. Like the stained glass window. Oh my gosh, I love it.
At least you're getting those base items too. I'm still getting bombshell posters.
Well, that only lasted like the first 2 runs, and then since then I've gotten bombshell posters too. And so I'm like, man, I just can't catch a break here, can I? But I don't know. I haven't seen this throne yet. I have not seen that throne drop yet. I haven't seen it on the pro either.
I have seen nothing but 112 gear in the regular and the elite.
And you know what the thing that makes me mad is that what? I've run the... Oh my god, Mepps. I can't tell you how many times I've run the elite.
You just can't talk with him. There's no reasoning with him.
Yeah, but Mepps, 3 of those weapons were bad weapons.
I think your entitlement is showing.
Wow. How does Flip Mepps hops on here to trash talk me?
Not this time.
You're the one that blessed me with this even worse luck that I have. Here, too. Makes me sad.
It's okay. I got a 123 rifle and I salvaged it. I'm like, I don't want you.
Thank you. Right?
But hold on. But at the same time, I'm now thinking back and it's like, I could at least held on to that to have my CR a little bit up. And I could probably try using it more. Because I'm not sure when I'm going to get another weapon. I mean, it took me...
Yes. You could have used that for melee DPS, and since you don't use your weapon anyways.
That's true! Exactly. I could have used it there.
A lot of classes don't use their weapon.
Yeah.
Well, some of the
I wouldn't
Some
just for the
players.
print, but that's just me. But you are a precision-based, DPS with your melee DPS, and so having a better weapon is good for you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and it was along those lines of thinking that I'm really cursing myself I got rid of that weapon. Just really pissed.
What weapon did you get? You got the staff and the rifle?
Yeah.
Ew, a staff? Ew.
Thank you. The tank with the staff or DPS with.
Yes, Mepps.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mepps like
stat.
that.
Yeah, Mepps a staff user.
Have you guys ever seen somebody try tanking with a rifle?
Yeah, I did it not them.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. It was like, okay, lunge in there. Yep, still next.
What is that?
See, next thing you know, the boss is on top of everybody.
I couldn't fathom that. I just can't.
Brittany, didn't somebody do that? I was running Halls of Haze with you one time. Was it Barn? Had the rifle or something?
I don't know. I know I used it in SM, the most recent SM, just because I needed to get my CR to 131. So I used it. It's not that terrible. It's just the lunge kind of sucks if you need to actually lunge in. But
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have to lunge in SM, so it was fine. I could just stand there and just do that little flip over and over again. But
I'm getting there. Hold on. I'm gonna get there. I'm almost there, guys. Don't worry. Oh, boss is here, by the way. Nice. Don't worry, my Earth Tank uses staff too, Chillcat, and that's only because it was the only weapon I could get that was higher than what I had. It was better than what I had. So, that's what I go with. If I have a weapon that's better and I'm willing to try it out, or I've tried it out before, then I'll weed it in and start using it again. Which is basically how I came into using bow once again. Because dual pistols can suck it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. I just dual pistols, what do I do? I full auto everything as a controller. There's nothing else. Every other combo I try and use is either going to take me away from the boss or is going to get me closer. And I don't want to be either.
You need to watch me use dual pistols.
Well, then stream more. Teach me, Obi-Wan. Happy Force Friday, by the way.
With happy what?
Force Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say dual pistols. You have to jump around a lot.
Yeah.
You want to do slip shot into jump shot. That way you pretty much go back to where you were. The only problem with dual pistols is you can get countered like super easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do like the... I think I'm... Oh, crap, what weapon am I? Shield. I decided to go shield on my controller, and I weapon mastered into dual pistol, so I do like the Magnum at the end. Problem is...
I don't dual pistols anymore.
Sadly, shield just doesn't give me combos fast enough to get my power back up. So I gotta get out of that and go into bow.
Rolling.
I'm not brawling. Because let me guess. Let me guess. You're going to tell me to go brawling just to do brawling into martial arts.
Yeah. I'm going to say you can't argue with the fact that's probably the best weapon and combo right there for support classes.
It's so damn fast.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And at the same time, I don't do that. I don't use just one weapon combo.
I understand. I'm not trying to convince you to use it. I'm just saying I mean it's brawling's OP for it's the best weapon.
And I can't even call it brawling. It's not. It's just brawling into weapon mastery. It's like, yeah, you're gonna go brawling. I'm like, no, I don't. Brawling, when someone says you need to go into brawling, it's like, I don't want to be in melee range. He's like, no, you need to go brawling into weapon mastery. Then that's what you need to say. You need to say brawling into martial arts weapon mastery, because that's all everyone does. And you're right, it is fast, it is efficient, but me as a player, I don't want to stick there at range and just do one thing. it's of course I'm sitting here. It's like I'll do pulse. My hand blasters, I'll do pulse beam, but I also mix it up and just try and do like solar flare and the other thing and scissor kicks. Like I mix it up. I want to use all my combos. It's how I am. Even with dual wielding, I want to spin. Just let me spin. That's all I want to do. Just because I just want to start singing.
I see people doom spinning. I just shake my head. I'm sorry. I do. I'm no, God, no, please don't.
Every time I do it, though, you have to sing Flocking Seagulls. You just gotta.
No.
Just gotta spin. So, moving on to test server, because we rant about everything else. Survival mode Owen Science Cells, ladies and gentlemen, is back. Brittany, you're allowed to scream. Yeah. Thank you, Brittany.
You're welcome.
So for this, it's 20 rounds. Because, the last time was 10. And congratulations to Brittany and Select Few for doing all that awesomeness when it first came out. So, 20 rounds. So, we're going to get new awesome EXO pants for rounds 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. New custom EXO shirts for rounds 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. New OA-themed base items, 20 rounds total. And new unique rewards for even rounds 12 through 20. And I just remembered what I'm NDA'd about that was shown to us, and I now need to hurry up and get ready for survival mode. I have to go in. I need those unique rewards. I just need them. So yeah. So it's 8 players. The combat rating, the minimum is 131. Recommended is 141. So it's on test server. So everyone on test server, try your best to get out there and test this content, test the difficulty, and make sure the bosses work, basically. So, and remember, to get on PC test, you have to be a member on the PC platform. Basically, just be a subscriber, and you're done. Hop on in. Come join us. And I promise not to rage crash too much. Or at least try not to. I am going to fight. I'm going to be as serious as I can in survival mode to get to those rewards. I want those awards. I want them. So, for tutorial for PC test only. For testing purposes on the PC test, new characters will be created and will start at level 1 instead of the default level 30. This will enable organic testing of tutorial changes implemented to alleviate new players getting stuck before they have learned the nuances of DC Universe Online. Basically, to stop people from getting stuck on the Brainiac ship. You would think that having the vendor or a parabot on the Brainiac ship would be enough, but apparently it's not. So first up, they added crates to the room with the movement mode requirement. This way, players having trouble can also jump up the crates. They removed shields from NPCs in the room, teaching counter mechanics. Players having difficulty executing counters will still eventually be able to advance and defeat NPCs, and then remove the Brainiac Encaser. I don't know who the Brainiac Encaser is. Was that part of the mechanics as well during that teaching phase?
I think it was like that mini boss that you fight in the beginning.
I thought that was an overlord.
I don't remember. I don't know what the Encaser is then.
Maybe the Encaser. Oh, you mean the final boss of the place?
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't played the tutorial. I don't create characters.
Well, la-di-da. For Legends PvE Watchtowers, they added the Legends PvE feat Don't Fight the Power. This is the Eradicator feat that was missing. Thank you, Shadow Dragon and testers, for finding out that was missing and telling Locke that he messed up. For UI, for UI loading screens, for the PC test only, the new loading screens should now display correctly, because before it was nothing but a black screen. Which was not to say it was not a pretty black screen, it was just a black screen. So, for episode 16, oh, look at this color coordination, Mepps. Dex will be very proud. Very proud indeed. For Desecrated Cathedral, they fixed an issue causing sounds to be turned down in the first boss fight of Desecrated Cathedral. Raven should no longer reset because she flew too high, out of players' reach. And for loot, the 2 Cathedral window base items now show colors when used for decorating. For Oa Under Siege, Black Lanterns in the Metropolis Battle Zone had their damage contribution lowered, so it'll be easier for multiple people to get credit for attacking the same bad guy. When getting the pointer mission for the first time, it will automatically activate as your current mission. For gear, they corrected a tooltip bug on the Energy Armor Glove unattuned box that stated that they were level 126. And then for episode 13, they updated the relevancy window for Throne of Hades and Throne of Hades. Was it always Throne of Hades? I thought it was like Throne something else.
Throne of the Dead is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, Mepps. And Act of Defiance to extend until CR 137. I swear, we're gonna get hit. For the Wraith, there it is, Throne of the Dead. Fixing
Edits as you were talking about it.
You're the best, man. You're the best. Fixed an issue where it was possible for players to leave the instance before unlocking the elite version of the raid, and then fixed an issue where it was possible for players to leave the instance before receiving the headline. What are players really that just hurriesome to leave a place when they finish something that they don't?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brittany, I believe you missed a checkpoint for elite.
Yep. Which, have you noticed in the alert, though, you can't leave until the scoreboard pops up?
Yeah, which...
Like the portal doesn't open?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Kate Nash, why are you doing it? Stop it! What? Come on!
Because you're done. So why would you sit there and wait around? I don't care about the scorecards. I'll just leave.
I don't care either, but, I mean...
I'm done. What am I going to do in there? Just stand there and twiddle my thumbs? I'm done. I'm out. See ya.
I mean, you don't want to like pal around a little bit, see the dead bodies, and just like, yeah, we did that. Just
So I think the whole premise is once you beat it, you know, and then you get that last cutscene, you're supposed to go talk to Wonder Woman. You know, and people aren't doing that. You know, you have to go talk to Wonder Woman to get that scorecard to pop up. Because after she is done talking, that's when the raid is actually over.
Oh. It just popped up even without talking to her. It just pops up and then you leave.
True, Kate. The scorecard is a nuisance for support roles because we just don't care. But I also want to still add that for the scorecard, I definitely want to see a tab or something that says how many people picked up how many other people. That would be like excellent. I don't know why. It's just after dying so much in that bombshell raid, I'm like, I wonder who picked me up the most. Yeah, it was you.
I thought we used to.
Did we?
It used to be called like interactions, I thought.
Yes, is the interaction.
Did they remove that?
No, it's still there. I think I have to look at it again. It should still be there. And then finally, for bounties, the bounty NPCs in DLCs 8, 9, 12, and 14 have been updated so that friendly players cannot heal them. As examples, Episode 14, Apocalypse and New Genesis bounties. Episode 12, what? What was that, sir?
Nothing.
Okay.
Episode.
Episode 12, Dr. Light and Superman. Episode 9, the Azure, Emerald, Citron, and Crimson Iconics. And then for episode 8 was Raven, Hero, and Villain version. So, don't use the supply drops. Can't use those anymore. You can blame Super Patriot, because he did it.
I didn't know, sir. I witnessed somebody doing it and laughed. That is the extent of my involvement in that scenario. All right.
So so I'm gonna have to do this. When you saw it, did you run and tell a teacher, or did you stand there and laugh?
No, I mean, I made it. You know, I announced the fact that it was doable. You know, in the TSI chat. You know, I mean, but I still sat there and laughed. I was like,
that's been doable for a long time now.
Yeah, it is.
Long time. That's why people hated freaking Hand of Fate operations to an extent. opposite faction
Yeah.
would come in and be like, "Oh, let me just heal the boss for you," and they're like, "Oh, come on."
So I'm pretty sure I've already got kicked out of the PC test. No, good. So I'm actually going to go create a PC test tune. Skipping movies.
I love that you can do that now.
Right?
Certain ones, but
Certain ones. Yeah, let me actually just turn that crap off. Alright, so inspired by. I don't care. I don't care. Name, I don't care.
this is taken.
Oh, I would be so pissed. I would have been so pissed too. Alien skipping movie. Seeing Power Girl. We've seen this one before. It's nice. So, does anyone else have the patch notes open since I had to close my window?
I do. I mean, that was it. That was it for the patch notes. The
Right.
bounties was the last thing on the PC test.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So for discussion, we've talked about it before, but it has to be brought up again because more misinformation on the forums. It's getting tiresome that people cannot understand it because it's just been doled down to the point of... Remainder did an amazing post. He did an amazing post talking about the gear progression for 16, 17, and what we can expect for 18. I think he has that. But, because 18 is going to fix everything, because 18 fixes things. So, right now, we have the issue that... episode 16, the Elite gear, will drop the chest, waist, back, and legs that will replace episode 15 gear. We already know this. It was a mistake that but I mean it happened. So we have no choice but to deal with it. Episode 17 is going to be the same way with the what we have in episode 16. The weapon the weapon's not part of it, is it? Will the weapon drop in the episode 18 raid? In the Elite raid?
I don't think so.
No, I think... Isn't it supposed to drop in 19?
I mean 17. Because I couldn't remember, because the Elite raid is going to have the gear that was on... the Elite gear will be replacing the gear we get in normal episode 16. But I can't remember if the weapons will be dropping in the Elite raid as well to replace it. I know it's going to be replacing head, feet, the head, feet, and hands. I just couldn't remember if it was dropping weapons as well.
Not that I'm aware of. I thought the weapons were just that.
Okay. So, but anyways, the episode 17 Elite raid will be replacing the normal drops that we see in episode 16. And once again, it will be a higher CR level, or a higher item level. And again, it wasn't meant to be. It's just a mistake that, oh well, mistakes happen. In episode 18, again, we'll fix it. It's going to be the saving grace for everything. For all gear progression. Because they have a different cycle now. Where the gear with the monthly content was supposed to last for 90 days. It was supposed to last for 3 months. Where in the grand scheme, it was supposed to be episode 15. The gear we get from episode 15, how long is it going to take Trex to get off the ship? Will Trex get off the ship? Thank you, Mepps. Thanks, buddy. So,
Will Trex die?
Really?
Will Trex die on the ship?
I'm not going to die on the ship. Stop.
I don't know.
Why would you?
I don't know. You died in the
faces.
you died in the vault, Trex.
And you know those were different circumstances why I was in there.
And I'm just saying those same circumstances could pop up.
I swear he. No.
Spawn a future Lex.
I'm not even level 1. Like level 0.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Trigon shows up in there.
That'd be awesome.
Okay. So yes, I'm on the test server right now, and stop it, Brittany. You're off playing some other game. So over here on the test server, and yes, they have now boxes of steps because apparently players could not use their movement mode to get up to the tunnel up there.
Well, there's brief messaging saying to activate your movement mode to get up to that ledge, but there's nothing really saying how to do it. There's nothing at the beginning of the game pointing you to say push this button to activate your movement mode, or click on this on your controller to activate your movement.
Of a bitch, they added a jump pad. After a certain amount of time, a jump pad will appear.
Yeah, Mepps, I know the message, but I mean,
I have the tutorial recorded because I'm going to do something special with it, and the message is there. It's to hit you on the keyboard, because I was on my mouse. It said hit the keyboard to enter movement mode to reach distant places. But yeah, so for new players out there, you'll either can use the stairs, which you don't have to use your movement mode for. Use the stairs. Will I get there? I can get there. Or, if you stand there long enough, a jump pad will pop up. And hopefully the arrow with the... It says up. Hopefully you'll jump up and, yay, you can move forward. Oh, I missed. I missed the ledge. See, now we have the issue where people are missing the ledge. There, I got the ledge. Jump pad. And look, I leveled up. Yay. Alright, so moving on through the test server. Back to gear progression. So, with episode... so, like I said, episode...
Hello.
So, with episode 15, the process was supposed to go, the gear we get in episode 15, we weren't going to replace it until episode 18. Meaning that we were going to have the chest, the legs, and all that stuff throughout 16, 17, and then when 18 comes out, we will replace it. So players talking about we were going to be replacing it every single month is incorrect. It's correct now because that's how it is with the Elite. And at the same time, you still have to get the Elite to drop that stuff, which, as Brittany points out, it's not dropping unless you're Mathalos and you also have good luck as well, and you just get 2 out of 4 already. So congratulations, Math, you lucky SOB. So, like I said, episodes 16 and 17, they are the misnomer. It's the misnomer. It's not supposed to actually be like this. So when episode 18 comes out, the gear we get in episode 18 will not be replaced until episode 21. 19 will be 22, and then 20 will be 23. We're going to keep gear for 30 days, and we won't see an upgrade, or I'm sorry, we're not going to see a replacement until 90 days, for another 3 months. So, had to explain this again, once again. Now, also, there was the issue, as it's pointed out now on the PC test, as we just point out on the patch notes, that when you reach a CR 136, you are actually, Throne and Active Defiance go away. Because the CR relevancy ends at 136. So once you hit 136 on your CR, I'm sorry, it ends at 135. Once you hit 136, you can't play that content anymore, so you only get access to 10 pieces of content at CR 136. Now it's been changed, so now Throne and Act will still be here at 137, which is the max CR for this episode. So once you hit 137, you'll still have access to those. And then once episode 17 comes out, you get your first piece of gear there, you'll be bumped up to over 137, so those go away, and everything is back in order. So kudos to the lock math skills, because I just don't understand it. Now, Mepps also, I have the forum post open on Chrome, but I just don't. I'm playing the game right now, so yay. So Mepps gave us an insight on how the item levels will be increasing for the future. Because people are wondering, when episode 18 comes out, what's going to be the new trash/normal gear? What's the item level going to be? It's going to be 122. The trash gear in episode 18 that will be dropping as greens will be 122. And that's basically how it's going to be. I think it's actually going to last for the entire cycle. So the trash gear for episode 18, 19, and 20 will be 122 trash gear. And of course, all the other, everything else goes up by 3s. Wow, Grid.
Oh.
You're gonna... Grid. Wow. Thanks, Grid, for caring a lot.
Cares too much.
I'm what? I heard you whisper.
Said he cares too much.
He cares too much. Okay, so I here am in the part where it's the combat mechanics. So I got my lunger. So this is where you're going to hold your block button, R1 or shift, to hold block. And so it will stop the lungers. That's how you stop a lunge. As you see, I'm blinking blue to show that I already have the counter mechanic. I got the blue immunity. Multiple lungers. Just hold your block button. The mission, though, is not popping up because I haven't spent a PowerPoint, so I still have that. So I'm not seeing the actual... Normally on the right-hand side, you'll see your quest stuff, and I'm just not seeing it because it just hasn't popped up. Maybe it's because I haven't spent a PowerPoint? I don't know. Let's find out. I do have 120 skill points, though. Yeah. Oh, actually, I use Sticky Bomb. Because I like sticky bombs. Let's see. Okay, so the journal on the right-hand side where your cases are, your quests, because right now it's telling me to interrupt the Brainiac channelers, to weaken them. It doesn't pop up if you still have your... Spin your PowerPoint. There it is. So, alright, lunging. Hold your melee button to lunge to interrupt them. And then next...
Are you supposed to be like showing this on your stream, or are you just narrating?
I'm showing it on the screen.
Oh, okay, I'm not seeing it on the screen.
Are you frozen?
I don't know. Let me refresh.
Because it's showing on my side. Oh, and now I gotta use all 3 of them together. Come here, Lunger. The Lunger seems to be the only one that's not dying, like, quickly. Where the Lunger... I've done the block counter, and he died, like, in 1 hit. I've done the Chandler, he died in 1 hit. The Lunger, it's taken, like, 4. Maybe 5.
It's taking you 4 times to... You have to block him 4 times to kill him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just holding block, and he's lunged 4 or 5 times, and then he finally goes down.
Totally shoots in the face of all the people out there that say that the damage for being interrupted on a lunge is too high. Saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it, because, I mean, like I said, that guy was taking forever to die just from blocking. Oh, I hit level 3. Also, some pro tips, in just in case you're seeing this for the first time. Destroying all these orange barrels here will get you a feat. So just keep that in mind.
What are those?
What's that?
What are those?
Yeah.
All about the titles now.
So, I guess that's the encaser. It's the shiny boss that's normally here. After you complete the field of bosses, that shiny one shows up. I guess they got rid of him.
Why? That guy was easy.
Uh-huh.
It's too hard, apparently.
I guess they couldn't defeat the shiny one.
We live in an era where we got a lot of dummies. It's the best way to put it. I ain't gonna sugarcoat this shit.
he's like, He said, let's face it, fag, people are stupid.
Okay.
Well, that's the best way to put it. Like, I can't put it any easier than that. We just got dumb people.
Okay, so Mepps saying he could encase you and you'd sit there for many seconds unable to do anything except log out.
I see.
Remember that happening.
Yeah, I don't know
Must have
if
been
that
a
happened.
recent bug. Must have been a recent bug.
Okay, so the ship Guardian is still here. Good, 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 good. And I think that's really it of the bugs. It was the crates. And then they changed something. What was the second dot, Soups, in that list?
Let's see here. They added crates to the room for the movement mode requirement. Remove shields from NPCs in the room, teaching counter mechanics. And they removed Brainiac Encaser. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, I did notice that that those NPCs during the counter mechanics part, it definitely they definitely weren't there. They didn't have shields around them, so they just felt like normal NPCs. I'm not sure what those shields did, but okay. Look, I'm melee DPSing.
Doing a good job.
Thank you.
Unless you're just gonna sit back and like throw sticky bomb like over and over and over again.
Oh no, do I block? I don't know what to do.
You almost have to force it, don't you?
You are required to successfully counter before an effort to educate players. Refusing to be educated, it most likely made players quit.
Lol. Do we want those type of people playing?
It's like, do we want those kinds of people, though? It's like people who eat at McDonald's. Do we really want those kinds of people? Are we sure? But hey, I mean, whatever helps to get players in and helps it a little bit streamlined, I'm okay with it. Now, this is to say that this is not
Mepps.
Since you all spend replays on anything.
So, you probably do want players like that, you know, Vagrant, since you won't spend replays yourself.
No, I have a crap ton of replays.
Yeah, but you don't use them.
I'm using them right now. I just
don't like
ran
this system.
Corrupted Emerald like 3 times. I'm running I already Desecrated Cathedral for the 2nd time today. I ran Paradox Wave like not Paradox Wave. Bombshell Paradox like 3 times in a row the other day. I use them.
Doesn't mean I like them.
I just don't like what they did. Even though they were introduced in my favorite DLC of all time.
Yeah. But as I was saying before, this is not the complete tutorial changes that they're looking at doing. This is just a band-aid. All right, so there are more fixes to the tutorial coming. We just have this band-aid fix for now. Expect more coming down the line.
I'd like to see a role tutorial put in.
I would too. I have a script that I've been tinkering at here and there for the tutorial missions, because I feel that Oracle doesn't do a well enough job explaining things. So I have a video that I've recorded, and I'm doing some cool effects to it to put me in the game as a tutorial guide. It's gonna be pretty fun.
My name's Trexlight.
Exactly.
Healer. Here's what you do.
If
you want to learn how to be a tank? Don't listen to me.
If you look on your controller, you will hit the L3 button in order to activate your movement mode. That's basically what it is.
Everybody would quit.
Who's this jackass? So yeah, there is some changes to the Brainiac ship. Like I said, this is a band-aid fix. It's not the complete fixes coming for the tutorial. More are coming, and what those are, I don't know. SJ keeps that very hush-hush, and I keep bribing her with puppies and kittens, and it's just not working.
She wants you to wear the new hairdos.
Oh my god, how could I forget? Thank you, dude. Duh.
That's why I said that.
Exactly. Boom! New hairstyles, by the way. Yay, hairstyles!
Everybody was like, yes.
Yes, it's so good. Alright, so this is the Wonder Woman bombshell hairstyle that's coming to the game, and there are more bombshell hairstyles coming to the marketplace. So, and I just want to get confirmation, can the bandana get recolored?
Oof. Wow. Yeah, that could be recolored. And I'm just, wow, Mepps in the chat.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
Did he drop a bombshell?
You have no idea.
Well, Grid was sitting there saying he was getting sentimental about reminiscing about Star Wars Galaxy days, and Mepps says, "Hey Grid, if Star Wars Galaxy had replay badges, you wouldn't have to be reminiscing."
Oh!
Hashtag food for thought.
I never got to experience that game though. Everybody said it was amazing.
It was amazing
For what it was. It required like a lot of effort.
It was amazing.
A Jedi. There was barely any Jedis on the servers.
That's right. It was. Oh my god, it was such a work. But yeah, it was a very fun game until one update, and it just got wrecked.
To answer your question about the bandana, I think the bandana is colorable. I mean, it appears to be, at least according to this picture here.
Yeah,
yes.
because
the bandana is taking your primary color, same color as her shirt there.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
And the hair is tintable, did you say?
Yes, Trex, you can change the color of your hair in DCUO.
Dope.
The last...
You didn't know that, Mepps. Take it easy on him.
Yeah, because the last time we talked about this, you said it wasn't. Sir.
The headband was originally not tintable, but we made it tintable.
Look at that. See, it's just great.
Thanks, Mepps. So, about that Game Update 52 surprise.
I'm surprised Brittany isn't in here squealing over the whole hairdo thing.
Because she's off somewhere else doing other things.
No, I'm still here. I'm just... I like that one, but I like another one better.
I know which one you want.
Yeah.
I know which one Brittany
Are there 4 that you like?
Possibly.
So are we expecting to see the 4 bombshells, though? Here's the hairstyles, Mepps. Since we only saw this one picture here. And I did ask SJ on Twitter about that.
What'd she say?
She hasn't responded yet.
Mm.
Even though I found a really cool winter jacket for her. You could get and wear.
Sadly enough, guys, these bombshell hairstyles are for females only.
Yeah, sorry, Grid.
I'll wear it.
I have a couple. I have a couple of.
Well, are we able to ask? How are we going to be able to get it? Are they going to be in the hairstyle vendor?
They will not be in the hairstyle vendor.
I believe they're going to be on the marketplace.
Marketplace. So if I buy it as a male, does it collect, or is it just like, bro, what are you doing?
I really want
Great
that
question.
I wanted you to be like, yeah.
Can that be the message that pops up that if you try to collect it, it just says pro?
No, it's before you check out. It's gonna be like, you can buy this because it's gonna give us money, but you can't use this.
or or a message pops up says gender change tokens have not been introduced into the game.
Gender change confirmed.
So can we give away the Game Update 52 surprise yet, or is it not ready yet?
Whatever that was, it launched the next week. I don't remember what I was going to tell you guys.
No, what you told me and Ticken that we're NDA'd. What we tested out.
Wait. I don't remember.
Talking about the I can't say anything about it without,
Right?
without spoiling
The
it.
item that Spittle leaked, that TT's that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's a secret. That's a surprise.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Still a surprise. And Atomic doesn't have a color because it's energy, and the energy doesn't have colors.
Wait,
Atomic does
what?
have a color.
Oh.
But we don't know, but you do, and we're okay with that.
So basically, atomic. I don't need to know if you're saying that. That's neat.
So, bombshell hairstyles are coming. So far, right now, we have the Wonder Woman hairstyle being shown by SJ on her Twitter. So, if you want to go ask more about the bombshell hairstyles, please go over to twitter.com/SJ_nerd of prey. And
Also, just randomly, does anybody like shared bank slots?
I'm
No!
okay with it.
Are we gonna buy more shared bank slots?
Please.
I was just asking a question.
I mean, I use them on occasion. You know. I don't know about everybody else. I mean, chat, do you guys use shared bank slots?
I use my shared. I use
Yes.
the crap out of my shared bank.
More, please.
I mean, Mepps is asking a question. There's no validity to it or anything. He was just asking a question. Because as community manager, he has to ask questions and see what people say.
Shut up, Trex.
I'm all for more marketplace stuff. That's my opinion.
All right, so I think that's everything. I think we hit everything that we needed to hit. Test server is online right now. Survival mode's on there. I saw Cursebringer and some other people looking up, getting a group together to test it out. Whether or not I test it out this weekend, I don't know. It depends on if Brittany will allow me to tank for her. Or at least pretend to DPS with another DPS class that I can play. Would you let me tank for you, Britt?
20 minutes.
She won't let me tank for her.
We
It's
have
like,
tanks.
I'm like, Britt, you want me to tank? No, I'll tank it. I'm like, all right. And then they will sit there, her and Lee will sit there and talk shit about my damage.
No, that is Lee that does that. I have to laugh because sometimes it's funny.
Oh, man.
And then, of course, I have to throw out the thought, the whole, idea, premise that, if all the ads were in one area, I'd be able to do damage to all of them at the same time. I'd be able to burn it faster, but, if we had a tank that could do that, it'd be great.
My dom isn't high enough to pull them. Sorry.
Oh, look, Lee's here. Hi, Lee.
Oh.
Alright, so time for the shameless plug. Be sure to follow us on our social media over on facebook.com/DCO Sourcecast or DCO Source Podcast, whichever. Search for us and you'll find us. And also find us on Twitter at twitter.com/DCUO Sourcecast. You can find all the videos on demand over at youtube.com/Trexlight in the Source Class playlist. And You'll also find all the audio playbacks over at Trexlight.com on the Sourcecast homepage, and also on iTunes. Just type in DCO Sourcecast and you'll find us. If you guys have any questions or suggestions or something you want us to talk about, or answer something that you want answered, email us at dcuosourcecast@gmail.com. Soups, where can we find you?
You can, of course, find me at youtube.com/thedaddy'shouse. I'm also on Facebook. It's .com/thedaddy'shouse. I'm also on the Twitter at the Daddy's House there. And you can occasionally find me streaming here at twitch.tv/the Daddy's House. Vagrant, Trick Track, where can we find you at? You need to update this thing here, man, because, like, none of your shit is still that.
You're right.
Look, if... I don't know. That's a lot. That's work. I mean, the Photoshop projects on my laptop, and the laptop's in the laptop bag behind me. It's just the...
Except I do all my, like, art and stuff like that. I'm not asking you to make anything.
Do you have a logo for Trick Tracked?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you email it to me, then I'll change it.
Okay.
And while I'm at it, Brittany, if you send me a logo, I'll put you on this thing, on the shameless plug. It's about time.
Her freaking, I don't know who did her logo shit for her channel, for Twitch, but it puts all of ours to shame.
Oh, she paid someone.
No, somebody did it for me. Professional artist.
I'm okay with just the T. I mean, I like it. I definitely have an idea to change my logo to make it more me, but I mean, I like it. Just small little T. I like it.
I've been meaning to go to like DeviantArt and have someone do some of my Twitch and YouTube art.
Fiverr. I mean, you can also do it Fiverr. It's like for $5, you can just get someone to do it for you.
You'd have to give me like a name or something.
That's it. It's FIVIR.
Then give me his link or something.
Just, yes.
Vagrant, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all /TrickTrack except for Twitter, which is @TrickTracked. Tumblr. I think that's about it in terms of social media. Yeah, Brittany, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Brittany_ or on Twitter at PinkRanger_206 or on YouTube at / I remembered Brittany. Trax, where can we find you?
Yeah, I just had to start going with / myself. I didn't want Sum It Up Princess just to come at me again.
Yes.
You can find me over at facebook.com/Trexlight. You can find me on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Trexlight. And you can find me especially on the Twitter, always active, over at twitter.com/thisistrex. And on my Twitch channel, you guys should be following, over at twitch.tv/Trexlight. For the DCO Sourcecast every Friday night and the random shenanigans that I do. It's so good. And as I go out, the devs do care about PvP. They are working on something to fix on PvP.
Where is this at?
It's in chat. Someone's shitting all over them again. It's like, oh, if devs cared about PvP, they would have done something after 1 year. Oh, they did. Except that whole thing got shat on, and so they reversed it. So, and now they have to come up with something new, and that takes time. So, patience. It's a virtue. Something that millennials these days don't understand. So, thank you all so much for watching tonight. We're going to have... It's Labor Day weekend. Oh, that's right. Legends PvE weekend. Area 51. Because everyone loves Area 51.
Yay!
So, just in case you don't have your exploration feat, you want to go into Legends PvE for Area 51 and just get it in there. That's where everyone does it. Ain't that right, Soups?
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. People go in there to get their investigations and briefings done for that alert.
Oh my God. No, hold on. No, Depths. No, Mepps. You can't give me that. because they're like, nobody asked. Like, because you left the call. You need to be on the call to get the like, hey, Mepps, where can we find you at? You desperate. You shouldn't have left. You shouldn't have left. But you can find DC Universe Online over at on Twitter at DCUO and on the Facebook at DC Universe Online Game. And you can find Mepps on Twitter at AlwaysMepps. That's right. I threw out the Always Mepps because, oh, you're on the call. Oh. No, you're not. No, there's only 3 images here, sir. There's only 3 images that I see. Oh, he just went robot Mepps on us. He's always there. He's always there. There he is.
There he is.
Mepps, where can we find you?
Don't tell people my Twitter handle, they just tweet at me.
They don't like you, man. That's why you just ban them.
You can reach Mepps you can reach Mepps on Twitter at dev_lock.
I was about to give out Lazarino's Twitter.
Then there's like a post next week that's like fire gets nerfed. Flame Cascade does like 40%.
I don't know. Lock plays fire, so I mean I may be safe.
No, his version of fire would be safe, not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, Lock melee DPS is everything.
Yeah, fire becomes a melee power. Seems fine.
Seems legit.
Well, you heard it here. So, thank you all so much for watching the Sourcecast tonight. Stay tuned for all these fine people this weekend to do fantastic things on their Twitters and on their Twitches, because it's Labor Day weekend. I have a 3-day weekend, and I'm going to abuse it. So that means Saturday night raiding. Can't wait. Tier 4 raids. Bombshell melee DPS more because I can do it. And there are no giveaways. I have a trip.
Wrecked all you people who show up 10 minutes. Showed up 10 minutes ago. Wrecked.
Sadly, I have TwitchCon coming up at the end of this month. I'll be going to Sacramento, California for the very first time. So I'm having to save my pennies to, eat and, to buy things because it's vacation. It's California. It's probably expensive over there. I'm sure it's expensive. I don't know. So, cannot wait. So if you are in the Sacramento area or anywhere around there if you want to hang out, let me know on Twitter. I'll try and set up like a little hangout, something like, hey, I'm going to be at this eatery. Come join and hang out and chit-chat. Or throw shade, because it's going to be hot. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week. You guys have fun in game. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Boy.
Bye.
Sado.